As a continuation of our iRent version 12 Deliveries tutorial, we now shift our focus to returns. The processes for returns and deliveries share similarities. On the Deliveries and Returns screen, we choose New Return. While these processes are similar, there are also distinctions. First, we identify the job from which items are being returned. Select the job or project. After selecting the job or project, we double-click on it and check the description, project, and customer details align with the correct job for this return. When the job makes use of item billing, enter the stop billing date if needed, either matching the return date or differing. If item billing is not relevant, then this date can be ignored. Next, we must choose the return date. Now we also check the associated home branch and yard. It is worth noting that we can redirect returned items to another yard, initiating a yard-to-yard transfer, similar to dispatching from an alternate yard. We then fill in the header specifics, like we would for deliveries, and include specific instructions as needed. For those in charge of item billing, it is possible to log transport and additional costs for this return with the Add Charges button. Once all these details are completed, we click Save. On the iRent ribbon, there is also a Reports button, where we can opt to print a count sheet with or without the present job balance. For example, selecting the yard count sheet shows the existing job balance ready for printing. To facilitate the counting process, yard staff can use this count sheet to manually input counts on the right-hand side. The job balance can serve as a reference to guide them during this count. There is also a specified area at the bottom of the sheet for logging any damaged or missing items. If we prefer not to reveal the job balance quantities to yard staff, there is an alternative. So instead of the standard yard count sheet, we can opt for a yard count sheet that is almost identical, but this one excludes the job balances. The returns process is also similar to deliveries, where items can be added individually, one at a time, or we can use the quick entry method. Notice that the returns grid here displays the current job balance for each item as a guide for our convenience. We can then input quantities in the This Return column on the far right. While the controls on this form are similar to deliveries, a difference is the Return All Items button, which is especially useful when we want all the positive balances for a job to be returned. We can also manually input varying item counts for the return. And iRent's alert systems are also useful for data entry. If we attempt to return an amount higher than the job's current quantity, iRent sends an alert about the potential over-return. If this happens, we can adjust the quantities to ensure they are accurate. After confirming all the details, we click Save and Exit. Then items we have added will be displayed in the returns grid. When manually inputting items one by one, for example T12, iRent might also present a warning when trying to return a quantity greater than what is on the job. Once again, this can be rejected or accepted by confirming the entry. When we are satisfied with the return details, we click Save. Note that iRent also allows us to account for damages and losses. To log these, we go to the ribbon, click Add Charges, then Add Sundries. For every item here, we can specify quantities that might require repairs, including potential charges and also comments or notes. We can also enter any items that are irreparable and need to be written off, and lost items that we do not anticipate will be returned. iRent will then deduct these amounts from the job. For instance, from a total of 200 items to be removed from a job, we might allocate 20 items for repair. Provide relevant remarks, and specify the number of items that are irreparable, which means that they cannot be fixed and will be written off. Likewise, detail lost items, indicating those we do not foresee returning to be taken out of ownership, which is taken out of iRent standard stock. Comments can also be added for clarity. While this job will see a reduction of 200 items affecting the job balance, these additional quantities we have input will take effect. Click Save to exit. We will notice that the item colour changes to purple, indicating the inclusion of sundries. After verifying the details, click Save, followed by Process to update quantities. Next, navigate back to the Report section. By clicking the Report button and selecting Docket from the drop-down, we can generate a ticket for this processed return, as shown by the PDF that is previewed on the screen. This ticket will list all the returned items, providing specifics such as items designated for repair and those that were damaged. At the bottom, the report displays the total count, in this case 236 items marked for return. Okay, let's exit the report and then exit the return screen. Let us transition to the item balance screen. By selecting the Inventory tab, we can access the Item Master option. Searching for T12 in the search bar quickly reveals our item. Clicking on it, we go to the item detail page, where we can see that a quantity of 20 is marked under the On Repair column. Exit to go back and click on the Deliveries and Returns tab. Click on the Find Data button to refresh our view or search for other transactions if needed. Okay, the Inventory menu also leads to item transactions. We can filter by date range to locate our recent entry, showing the lost and irreparable items. By clicking on Show All Transactions in the panel, the list expands. Here, we can see a repairable item transaction with 20 recorded in both on-hand and on-repair fields. Also within Deliveries and Returns, there is an Items page. With the Date filter, we can search for relevant dates and hit Find Data. Results can be further refined with the filter. Take the repairable quantity column for example. Notice the filter icon in the top right. Using the drop-down, choose the non-blank filter. For a more advanced view, click on the Edit Filter button in the lower right, while the active filter is on the left. This opens the filter editor. Here, we can alter the condition from is not null to is greater than 0. Confirming this adjustment shows transactions for the specified date range with some repairable quantities. It also shows that the filter editor is a powerful feature in iRent. And this concludes our tutorial on iRent returns. Thank you for watching.